Some lenders will accept 5% deposit. However, one thing to note is the higher the deposit, the lower the interest. The higher the deposit, the lower the interest. So I will encourage you to put as much deposit as possible. You want to buy a house of about 200K. I will encourage you, if you have 30K or 25K or 40K, that will reduce your interest significantly. Hi, welcome to Dominion Wealth Zone. My name is Julius Olutokun, and today on this telecast, we shall be looking at steps to buying your first UK property. Steps to buying your first UK property. Everything I'm sharing on this telecast is not financial advice. Do try to consult your financial advisors. I'm just sharing with you experiences that I've got in supporting and helping people in order to do this. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that anytime I release any video, you can have some benefit and prompting by the YouTube so that you can get benefit of my videos. So without much ado, let's crack on. I'll be talking on steps to buying your first UK properties. I have directly supported at least more than 50 people to buy their first UK properties. So I'm talking from a first-hand experience. So what I'm going to share today is not exhaustive. However, you could get some good benefits from there. Number one, the first thing you need to look at is where do you want to buy the property, the location. Of course, you need to look at the proximity to school, to the market, to the shops, proximity. If you travel on the motorway, how close is it, or how easy can you get onto the motorway? So you need to look at that. You need to look at the environment. You want to buy your house. You don't want to bring up your family in an area that is not family friendly. So that's number one, where. The second thing to note is what type of house do you want to buy? Do you want to buy a detached building? Do you want to buy a semi-detached? Do you want to buy a terraced house? Do you want to buy a bungalow? So what type of building or house do you want to buy? Do you want to buy a new build? Do you want to buy an old house? Do you want to buy the one you're going to refurb? So what type of house do you want to buy? That's number two. The third thing you need to have in mind is how much do you want to spend? And this will be determined by how much you are able to save as deposit and how much you are able to afford on a monthly basis to pay for your mortgage. So that is going to determine that. It's going to determine how much or the amount of house you want to buy. If you want to buy a house of 200K, then you need about 10% deposit, which is 20K. If you want to buy a house of 100K, you need a deposit, which is 10K. Some lenders will accept 5% deposit. However, one thing to note is the higher the deposit, the lower the interest. The higher the deposit, the lower the interest. So I will encourage you to put as much deposit as possible. You want to buy a house of about 200K. I will encourage you, if you have 30K or 25K or 40K, that will reduce your interest significantly. So your finance. Now, having said that, I will encourage you, this is number 5, is to get what I call AIP or MIP, Agreement in Principle or Mortgage in Principle. This is an agreement, a basic agreement. It does not mean that the lender will lend you that amount of money, but it shows that you may be eligible for that amount of money. And if you go online, if you put agreement in principle on Google, there are some software or things you can use on Google in order to get your agreement in principle done. And your agreement in principle is going to ask how much you earn, your financial circumstances, and that will tell you or give you a reach of how much they might be able to lend you. After getting that, then it's now to begin to do house hunting, begin to look for house. Now, in order to look for house, you go on your Rightmove, your Zoopla, you go on the market, you go online, begin to search the house. As a matter of fact, you will be able to get more houses online than you going to the high street. It's good to go to the high street, walk around the estate agents if you have the time, look at their shops, talk to them. But I will encourage you, shop online first, because online you are open to a lot of options. So once you have seen the type of house that you want, the next thing is to pick up your phone and call the agents, or you can contact them through the online facility. Rightmove, you can contact them online. Zoopla, you can contact them online. So the next thing is to book viewing, and now it's becoming more exciting. If you're getting benefit from this, please do subscribe to my channel, and please share and hit the notification button, please. So this is where it becomes exciting. Like I said, now you begin to go viewing. Now you can view as many houses as you want. There's no limit to which you can view, and it's basically free. You don't pay anything for it. Now, when you're viewing, you need to be meticulous. You need to be very careful. You need to take your time. You need to look at the houses properly. Don't rush things. Don't be over-excited. When people are too excited, it happened to us when we were looking for our first house. We were so excited, we were not looking properly. But one of the things I did then was one of the houses we decided to buy. We've made up our mind we're going to buy this house, but we have not negotiated. So I got someone who is into building works, and I took him into the house, and we got into the house that day. And the moment he got into the house, we came out, and he pointed about 8 defects in the house to me. 8 defects. And he said, Julius, you're not going to buy this house. It's not the best for you. But when we took him to the house we eventually bought, then when we got there, it was not as beautiful as the one we went before, because the one we went before has been refurbished. So they've done some cosmetic repairs. But the ones we now bought was not as beautiful as that. And he said, this is the house. He said, this house has got good characters. So when you go to house viewing, be objective. Don't be too excited. A lot of first timers are always too excited. Oh, I want this house, and they jump into it. If you notice any crack or any defect, ask questions. You can ask anything. Look at the roof of the house very well. Look if there's any damp in the house. If there's been leakage there before. Ask any question. The next thing to that is, once you are satisfied that this is the house I want or you want, then it's to now negotiate. You can negotiate any house. Probably put the house for 200K. You can negotiate to 190, 180. You can ask for anything. You understand? It's your money. So after that, the next point, number 7, is now to get a mortgage broker. Now, a lot of people, or some people, will go to their bank. Now, if you go to the bank that you use, then you have limited your options, because your bank will want to sell for you their products, their mortgage. You understand? But when you go to a broker is an independent person who has a wide range of products with them. They've got products from Nationwide, from NatWest, from Barclays, from HSBC, from Lloyds Bank. They've got products even from some lenders who are not on the high streets. And sometimes some lenders who are not on the high street, they give you good rates and they give you good conditions. So you need to go to a broker. And one thing about broker is, I tell people that they don't charge you so much. The last time I know brokers, they charge between 400 to 500 pounds in the area where I live in Yorkshire, between 400 and 500 pounds. And they don't collect this money until you are about to sign a contract. Everything is done, everything is okay. That's when your broker gets their payment. So it's not that someone is getting money from you and they save you a lot of hassles, especially if you're a first timer. That's number two. If you are a migrant, you spend about less than 2 years in the UK, or 3 years or 4 years. When the bank will be saying we cannot lend you, they're going to lend you. If your leave to remain is temporary, a broker can help you to secure a mortgage. Meanwhile, your high street bank will be a bit careful about lending you money. So you get a broker. So once the broker is doing their work, and at the same time you engage a solicitor, and the work of the solicitor is to do your conveyancing, to do the searches, to do all the legal paperwork. So the solicitors will ensure that the house belongs to the vendor who is selling it. That's number one. Number two, the solicitor will ensure that all the searches are done, like the drainage search, the chancel search, and different kind of searches. And your solicitor will also help you in order to ascertain that the property you are buying is what it is. That is, it's a 3-bedroom house, and they're going to search, is it a 3-bedroom house you're buying, or is it a 2-bedroom? They're going to check all that. For solicitors have helped a lot of people from landing themselves into a problem. But once you sign a contract, you sign it. And so therefore, you can ask your solicitor any question. Who owns this property? Have you done the search? Have you done this? Have you done that? Some properties have been used as collateral for loans. So a solicitor will help to dig all that out. Some property have got the council has put some thing on some property that this property cannot be sold. A solicitor will get that out for you. They're going to help you. So ask your solicitor any question. They will answer you because they're actually working for you. At that same point, I'm going to go to number 9 point now, which is valuation. Now, you may or may not do your valuation, but your bank will all definitely do the valuation of the property before they lend you the money. You want to buy a property for 200k, and the bank will want to confirm, is that property actually worth 200k? I'll share this with you quickly. I've told some first timers, and I said, look, this property does not worth how much they want to sell it. But because the agent will tell them, oh, there's a lot of people on this property, a lot of first timers are always panicking and they say, oh, I want to buy. Instead of negotiating, they don't negotiate. But when it gets to an area of valuation, when a valuer goes in, the valuer sometimes come back and say, oh, they said this property is 200k, but it's not worth up to that. It's just about 180 or 170. So the vendor has two options, either to accept it and to sell it for 170, or to say, no, I'm not selling for you, I'll sell for someone else. And that process will fall through. That's why it's good for you to do valuation and survey. A survey plan or a survey activities will show you if the building has got any defects, what are the defects in the building that you might not be able to see. But there's a lot of defects in building that you might not be able to see. A surveyor, so valuer, will get them out. Now, having done that, if all that are okay, one thing I forgot to mention is your credit check. Yeah, the bank will do a credit check on you, and it's a hard check. When you do your mortgage in principle, agreement in principle, there's a soft credit check that is done on you, which does not affect your credit rating. But once you are about to get mortgage, the bank will do a credit check on you. And some of the things that affect credit checks are, number one, if you have missed payment in the past 6 months. If you miss payment of just £100, it could affect your mortgage. That affected us initially. I stopped subscription onto my TV, and the company was still expecting me to pay for 3 months, and that went to my credit record. So I applied for mortgage, it fell through. And when I tried to find out why it did fall through, I find out that the company, the provider there, was trying to get money from me, and they were not aware that I've cancelled my subscription, where I had to find out where I had to pay the money. And after paying the money, it was painful. I had to wait for another 6 months before I started the house hunting process. So they're going to do credit check on you. Have you missed payment? Number 2, how long have you lived where you're living? It's always good to live in a place for at least 1 year or 2 years. Moving about is not the best. Number 3, they're going to check whether your name is on the electoral roll. Number 4, they're going to check how long have you worked where you're working. You've got to have a consistent work pattern or work life. Number 5, they're going to check your income, and they're going to check your expenses, outgoing and incoming. They're going to check that, and they're going to check what kind of bills do you have. And one of the things that do affect credit check for good is if you have taken any credit before. Probably you have a credit card and you use it. You don't need to hold on it, but use it because you want to borrow 200,000 and you have never borrowed 1,000 before. They might not lend you any money. You understand? So you must have been in the credit system, and that's going to help you. So having done all that, the valuation goes well, the credit check goes on well, then your mortgage will be approved. And the moment your mortgage is approved, the next thing is they're going to ask you to come and do exchange of contracts. And before the exchange of contract, the bank is going to inform you and get you a date for the exchange of contract. But they will ask you to do an insurance to insure the property before you exchange. So you do the insurance of the property, and sometimes they will ask you to do your own insurance too, in case you lose your job, in case anything happens, so that the house can be secured. So you do that, then the exchange contract, you sign it, and the final one is completion. And that's the day you go to the house or you go at a place where you meet and you exchange the keys. So these are the processes of buying your first house in the UK. If you want to buy your second house or the third house, you want to go into buy it to let, the process is a bit different, just a bit, but these are the basic steps. If you do have any question, drop it in the comment below, and I will try to answer you as much as possible. Also, don't forget to like, to share, and to hit the notification button so that I can be bringing you good and wonderful videos like this. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.